1.4 The Son of 4 Part 10. Preserve it carefully, then Miss Morton, for it may prove to be use to us. I begin to suspect that the matter may be turn out to much deeper and more subtle than I first supposed. I must reconsider my ideas, and he leaned back in the cab. I could see his drawn brow and vacant eye. He was thinking intensely. Miss Morton and I chatted in the undertone about our present expedition and the possible outcome, but our companion mentioned his impenetrable reserve until the end of our journey. Miss Morton and Mr. Holmes. There was a conversation between Miss Morton and Mr. Holmes. He told to her, "You have to preserve that gift very carefully because that matter is very suspectable matter or the mysterious matter." So he learned and went back to cab. But Miss Morton chatted with undertone about the present expectation between two of this. The companion mentioned it is an impedable reserve until the end of the journey. आता या उतारामध्ये काय सांगितलंय, मिस्टर होम्स आणि मेरी मॉर्टन जे आहे परस्परांच्या मध्ये चर्चा चालू आहे की जे प्रेझेंट आहे ती प्रिझर्व करावी असं त्यानं सांगितलेलं आहे. या पाठिंबाचा उद्देश जो आहे ती जी प्रेझेंट आहे ही प्रेझेंट प्रामुख्यानं अत्यंत सस्पेक्टेबल आहे, हे गुड आहे असं त्यांना वाटतं आणि म्हणून ते प्रिझर्व करायला सांगतात. आणि नंतर तो काय करतो, कॅबमध्ये निघून जातो. मिस मॉर्टन ही त्या मुद्द्यावरती चर्चा करत राहते आणि चर्चा केल्यानंतर मात्र त्यातून काय प्राप्त काय होणार, त्याचा आउटकम काय, त्यातून काय प्राप्त होणार हे कंपेनियन मध्ये त्यानं सांगितलं की इम्प्रेडिक्टेबल आहे, की जे अशक्य बाब या ठिकाणी असं त्याचे कंपेनियन सांगतात. आणि ते सांगण्याचं शेवटचं जे क्षण आहे तो जर्नीचा शेवट आहे. It was a September evening and not to yet 7 o'clock, but the day had been dreary and drizzly fog lay upon the great city. Mud-colored cloud dropped sadly over the mud street. Drawn the strand lamps were but mysterious patches, spotless, diffuse light, which is feeble circular glimmer upon the slimy pavement. It was the evening of September, and there was the time of 7 o'clock. But the day had been dreary. The mist was spreading everywhere. The roads were totally muddy roads, and the mud is spreading everywhere. The clouds became muddy in color. That is the total natural beauty is explained in the same paragraph at the time of September month. But there was circular glimpses upon the silver pavement. Whenever the fog was falling on the pavement, there was a glimpse atmosphere is created on the same pavement. Means there was a shining atmosphere, and the natural beauty of the fog falling on the pavement has created there. The yellow glare from the shop windows streamed out into the steamy, vaporous air, through murky, shifting radiance across a crowd through fair. There was to my mind something airy and ghost-like, the endless procession of faces which filtered across the narrow bars of the light, sad faces and glad, haggard, merry like the humankind. They filtered from the gloom into the light. Whenever that natural beauty was observed by the writer, he said that there was something ghost-like ideas were created in the mind of the writer whenever he saw that beauty. That is the glimpses of light, spreading clouds, murky clouds everywhere. Those things are created, the totally mystery in the mind of the writer. And like all the humankind, they filtered from the gloom of the light. But all dull, heavy evening with the strange business upon which we were engaged combined to make me nervous and depressed, and I would see from the Miss Martin's manner that she was suffering from the same feeling. Holmes alone could rise superior to pretty influence. The total foggy atmosphere has made such type of the atmosphere on the mind of the writer, and that atmosphere was totally nervous atmosphere. So the writer was become depressed. But Miss Morton said that there was suffering from some feelings. The same feelings were suffering to the Miss Morton. But so Holmes alone could rise superior petty to that influences. आता या ठिकाणी त्यांनी काय सांगितले, ज्यावेळेला वातावरणामध्ये संपूर्ण असं धुस्सर वातावरण तयार होतं आणि धुस्सर वातावरण तयार झाल्यानंतर ते ढग वगैरे जमिनी होतात आणि ते जमिनीवर धुकं ते ढग जमिनीवर आल्यानंतर एक वेगळ्या प्रकारचं नॅचरल ब्युटी त्या ठिकाणी तयार होते. पण लेखक म्हणतो या ठिकाणी एक ग्लूम आहे, एक अंधार तयार झालाय, त्या असणाऱ्या धुक्याच्यामुळे अंधार तयार झाला असं वाटतं आणि अंधकारमय वातावरणामध्ये तो स्वतःच्या बिझनेसमध्ये म्हणतो एंगेज मी होण्याचा प्रयत्न केला, परंतु माझा बिझनेस असा झाला की मी स्वतःला डिप्रेस्ड करून घेऊ शकलो. म्हणजे माझ्या मनामध्ये खूप अपराधाची भावना किंवा वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारची भावना तयार झाली, परंतु ह्या भावना निश्चितच मिस मॉर्टनला सुद्धा याही भावना सतावत होत्या, पण त्याने ते आपल्या चेहऱ्यावरती दाखवलं नाही. पण मिस्टर होम्स म्हणतो मी स्वतःला एक चांगला व्यक्ती म्हणून घोषित करण्याचा प्रयत्न करत होतो. He held his open notebook upon his knee. From time to time he jotted down figures and memoranda in the light of his pocket lantern. Mr. Holmes was keeping the open notebook on his knee time to time and jotted down the figure of memorandable light of his pocket lantern. आता जी डायरी तो आपल्या गुडघ्यावरती ठेवायचा, बस असताना गुडघ्यावरती ती डायरी ठेवत असे आणि त्याच्यावरती थोडा थोडा विचार करत असे. पण असं जरी झालं तरी त्याच्या खिशामध्ये जो लँटर्न आहे, जो दिवातीची लाईट त्या असणाऱ्या डायरीवरती पडत असे. At the Lehman Theatre, the crowd were already thick at the side entrances. In front of the continuous stream of hansom and four-wheelers were rattling up, discharging their cargoes. Shirt-fronted men and bespectacled and bediamonded women. We had already reached the third pillar, which was the rangerous before the small, dark, brisk man in the dress of coachman accosted us. Lehman Theatre was crowded there because all type of the people were gathered together in order to watch the cinema, in order to watch the show. So there was full of crowd in front of the entrance of the same theater. So some discharges cargoes were parked there, and in that crowd it was highly impossible to the writer to enter in. But finally, with his own effort, he reached the third row of the pillar before a small dark brisk man, the coachman, accosted him. आता तो म्हणतोय परत आम्ही लेमन थिएटर मध्ये जायचा प्रयत्न केला. थिएटर जे अत्यंत खूप गर्दीनं गजबजलेलं असं थिएटर होतं, तरी त्या थिएटरमध्ये आम्ही प्रवेश मिळवला. मग गाड्या लागलेल्या होत्या, काही मोठमोठ्या कार लागलेल्या, त्याच्या गर्दीतून आम्ही मार्ग काढला आणि शेवटी तिसरा जो पिलर आहे थिएटरचा, त्या तिसऱ्या पिलर मध्ये आम्ही जाऊन पोहोचलो. तिथे आम्ही जागा मिळवली. परंतु त्याच दरम्यान एक कोचमन आहे की ज्याच्यावरती क्रिमिनल रेकॉर्ड सादर करण्यात आलं, ती व्यक्ती आम्हाला आमच्याच लाईनीमध्ये दिसलेली आहे, असा सरळ स्पष्टीकरणाचा भाव लेखकानं या ठिकाणी स्पष्ट केला. नेक्स्ट, Are you the parties who came in the Miss Morton? He asked. I am Miss Morton, and these two gentlemen are my friends, she said. He bent a pair of wonderful penetration and questioning eyes upon me. You will be excused me, miss, he said with a certain dogged manner, but I was asked to give me word that neither of your companions is a police officer. I give you my word on that, she answered. Whenever the accosted coachman was in the line of Miss Morton and Mr. Holmes, at that time he asked only one question to that lady. Are you alone? She told him, no, I am not alone. I am accompanied with my two friends. Then she had given explanations to that accosted coachman. But I was asked to ask some questions. Neither of She told to him, neither of you nor a policeman you have to inform about your companionship. That is the explanation or the point explained by the Miss Morton to that accosted man. And I gave you my word on that. She answered. मग त्याच थिएटरमध्ये अकॉस्टिक कोचमॅन ज्यावेळी त्या लाईनला थर्ड पेल्याच्या रोला बसलेला होता त्यावेळी तो मिस मॉर्टनची चौकशी करतो. तो मिस मॉर्टनला विचारतो की आपण एकटेच आहात का, आपल्या समेत कोणी आले आहे का. त्यावेळेला मिस मॉर्टन म्हणते मी एकटी या थिएटरमध्ये आलेली नाही, तर माझ्या समेत माझे 2 फ्रेंड्स आहेत आणि त्यामुळं मी येताना बरोबर तिघे मिळून आम्ही या थिएटरमध्ये आलेलो. त्यावेळी ती म्हणते ठीक आहे, आपल्यामध्ये जी चर्चा झाली ती आपल्या पुरतीच ठेवा, ना पोलिसांना याचा कोणते डाग देऊ नका. अशा प्रकारे ती सांगते आणि मग अशा प्रकारे ती उत्तर देत असते. ही gave a shrill whistle on which the street Arab lead across the four-wheeler and opened the door. The man who had addressed us mounted to box while he took out our places inside. We had already hardly done before the driver whipped out his horse and plunged away into furious pace through the foggy street. When there was a shrill of a whistle on the street of Arab led a four-wheeler and opened the door. Means whenever she had a whistle, at that time the Arab was available on the road. He had opened the door on the street and addressed mounted to the box when took the place. We had hardly done before driver whipped up with his horse and plunged away the furious place through the foggy street. And the driver came and he had lifted all of them together along with Miss Martin and gone away. या ठिकाणी शेवटच्या पॅरेग्राफमध्ये आपल्याला सांगितलेलं आहे. काय शेवटचा पॅरेग्राफ सांगतो की ज्यावेळी ती म्हणते की मी वेसल मारे तेवढा रस्त्यावर जो अरब उभा आहे त्या अरबानं आपलं गाडी घेतलेली आहे आणि गाडी घेऊन त्या गाडी समोर आमच्या समोर गाडी घेऊन येतो आणि गाडी घेऊन आलं तर मग आम्ही त्या गाडीमध्ये परत बसतोय आणि त्या ठिकाणाहून जेवढ्या लवकर निघून जाता येईल त्या प्रकारे आम्ही लवकर निघून जाण्याचा प्रयत्न केलेला आहे. अशा प्रकारे 4.4चा द साइन ऑफ 4 पार्ट 10 इथे संपतो. थँक्यू.